Thank you so much for that beautiful song, and how fitting for Juneteenth. Yes. And happy summer solstice to everyone here. And we are grateful to be embracing this time of year where we can get to enjoy the sun even more, and just to be grateful to be able to be here in this state, and blessed by the warmth and the beauty that we have here. And I would like to recognize also for all of those of you who are fathers and or have served in a fatherly role. Happy Father's Day to each of you. Yes. And of course, we also celebrate the divine masculine in each of us. So God bless all of you for honoring your divine masculine. These last 2 weeks, Reverend Laurie spoke of and reminded us of the power of our focused thoughts and our prayers as we embrace the I am of who we are. And the many ideas shared will richly support that which I'm going to be sharing today. And in Unity focuses this month on the power of imagination, the faculty that we have studied in the past, and of course the significance that it plays in our life. And in Unity, we learned that the 12 creative powers are basic and necessary to all of us, that they are qualities of our divine nature. And Charles Fillmore, as many of you know, co-founder of Unity, was strongly influenced by the transcendental movement, which eventually guided Fillmore to Eastern spirituality. Then he combined those teachings with his Christian teachings of his early years. And it was more than 100 years ago that Fillmore established the 12-power approach in the Unity movement, which has helped to support each of us as seekers on our spiritual and our healing journey. And as many of you know, Fillmore used the disciples of Jesus as archetypes or examples of these 12 powers, each representing one of those powers. And so the faculty or the power of imagination, as we've learned in Unity teachings, was represented by the disciple Bartholomew, symbolizing positive thoughts held in mind, as well as being able to visualize those thoughts as divine ideas. In Unity teachings, the color of the power of imagination is, can you guess? Very good. It's actually a light blue, and it's located here in the third eye, the eye of the mind, the center of thought and concentration, which enables us to also see beyond the physical world and to perceive unlimited possibilities. When it comes to our imagination, we are each invited to own our own power, right? Our special gifts, our spiritual gifts, our indwelling creativity, our ingenuity, and our inspiration. And believing and having faith in our gift of imagination and trusting our inner guidance plays a huge part in us embracing our divine essence. And the more that we give ourselves permission to embrace our imagination, our insights, or our revelations, we each put ourselves in the position of receiving more of the abundant joy, good, happiness, and even healing in our life, don't we? Yeah. Have you ever thought of what it would be like if you could not imagine? Life would probably appear to be less magical, less than exciting, less than wondrous. We might think that life would not have that spark in it, as we know. And without the faculty of imagination, there would be no discernment, no reasoning, no opinions, no philosophies, no accepted or recognized wisdom. Yet in this earthly life that we get to experience, which our souls have agreed to have this experience for our spiritual evolution, part of our divine birthright includes having imagination that allows us to explore ways of thinking, ways of behaving, ways of creating, and ways of being. And how our imagination will determine in part what we get to experience in this lifetime through our insights, our inventiveness, our visions, and motivations will make a huge difference. When our imagination empowers each of us to envision our good, we each bring into manifestation that which we desire in this inner life, as well as the outer life we experience, don't we? Yeah, how wonderful it is that we have all been blessed with a thinking mind. Many of you are familiar with the story of Peter Pan, the boy who never grows up and who invites children into the dream world where anything is possible. With the help of Tinkerbell and the Lost Boys, Peter takes Wendy and John and Michael on magical adventures into Neverland, and teaching them not only about bravery and friendship, but also about the power of believing. And this particular story awakens a child's sense of wonder, imagination, and possibility. And many of the classic children's stories are often doorways to inspiration and creativity, self-discovery, developing imagination, and teaching valuable life's lessons. And since we each have the gift of a thinking and discerning mind, and if it is our choice to live in a world of peace, of joy, of happiness and harmony, then will we not establish a certain belief system that supports our choices? Yes. We know that there's a direct connection with our imagination and the divine source that works in and through us. We know that Jesus worked miracles. And remember that he stated, and I quote, "He who believes in me will also do the works that I do, and greater works than these will he do," unquote. Abraham Lincoln once said, and I quote, "Without divine assistance, I cannot succeed. With it, I cannot fail."
Come on, somebody.
Without divine assistance, I cannot succeed. With it, I cannot fail.
Amen.
That's powerful. Yeah. Therefore, the artist inside of each of us has a divine opportunity to express itself in a variety of ways. Yes? Yes. Perhaps they're subtle ways, perhaps they're extraordinary ways. There's a story about a young girl of European descent. Her name is Mariana, who experienced traditional ethnic concerts in her youth. And she was so mesmerized by the female vocalists that she strongly believed that somehow, someday, she would also have the opportunity to sing as one of the soloists in one of these ethnic concerts. How that would come about, she had no idea, for her parents could not give her the ongoing formal music training that she would need. So for many years, she just put that idea aside knowing that the soloists that sang in these concerts were only accepted because of their extensive and traditional training. So years went by. Mariana embraced her creativity in various ways, learned various instruments, sang in different places, and wrote a lot of music, even made some recordings. And her power of imagination to create was extraordinary. Well, years later, one evening, Mariana went to visit some friends, and those friends apparently had some guests. And so as Mariana arrived and was welcomed into the home, she noticed that she heard her recorded music being played. So at the course of the evening, they all listened to her songs, and then one of the guests, who turned out to be on the selection committee of these ethnic concerts, turned to Mariana and looked at her and then asked if she would be willing to be one of the soloists at the upcoming ethnic concert. Of course, she said yes, without thinking. Later, she realized that those many years ago, the idea that she put forth was now manifesting itself. She realized that her musical talents that were acquired in a more unconventional way apparently proved her a musical ability as a performer. So for Mariana, who witnessed the power of her thoughts that she held in mind with that initial intention, eventually came to pass after 40 years. As just as Norman Vincent Peale has stated, and I quote, "Positive thoughts held in mind produce after their kind." Yes. And so all things are possible for one who believes. Indeed. And the same awakening power that worked in Jesus all those many years ago works through each and every one of us. And it's true that no matter where we are in life, no matter what we are dealing with, individually or collectively, we always have the power of our imagination to affect this life in a positive way, don't we? Yeah. If in the Bible we're reminded, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your minds." Fillmore stated that, and I quote, "The mind of spirit will guide you in perfect ways, even in the minute details of your life, if you will let it do so." Unity reminds us that God, the source of all there is unlimited within us. And when we are committed to saying yes to our spiritual path, over and over and over again, it's amazing what that spark of divine creativity within us can do, through us and as us. Can you relate to that?
Yes.
Yeah. Imagination, as Fillmore stated, gives man the ability to project himself through time and space and rise above all limitations. End of quote. Some of you may have heard this saying in Unity that states, "To set it right, see it right." Yeah. To set it right, see it right. In Philippians 4:8, it states, "It's our privilege to choose the kind of mental pictures we will form in our imagination." Fillmore encouraged people to use their imagination wisely and to align those thoughts with spiritual principles. Because when we change our mental pictures, we can improve our own disposition, our health, and our well-being, as well as conditions around us. Even Buddha said, and I quote, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." End of quote. In Unity teachings, we come to understand that thoughts are things. Yes, and they are incredibly powerful. Our creative energy, our imagination, is an essential part of who we are. The more we are open to and welcome our divine creative power and feel the joy of God's presence at the heart of whatever we're doing, just as Reverend Lori was sharing last week, the more possibilities we'll see and experience. We may even amaze ourselves at what we can do. Albert Einstein once said, and I quote, "Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions." We know that when we tap into God's infinite power, God will do things in our life which we have never even imagined. How many of you have walked the labyrinth at Unity Village? We have a few of us have. And when we give ourselves to walk a labyrinth, wherever that may be, doesn't have to be Unity Village, but really anywhere, it's a beautiful opportunity to not only practice our faith, but also to allow our mind to embrace our imagination. And as we walk through the labyrinth passages, we consciously release all that which no longer serves our highest and best good. And when we reach the center of the labyrinth, we rest in silence, in peace. We connect with the divine presence, source within, letting go and trusting that presence to do its perfect work in us and through us. And when we're ready to move on from the center, we remain open to the guidance and inspiration that we receive through our faculty of imagination. It's a powerful process for transformation on many different levels. If you haven't had the experience of walking a labyrinth, we invite you to do so. Yeah, Fillmore stated that, and I quote, "The highest and best work of imagination is the marvelous transformation that it works in one's character." It has been said by Anonymous that imagination is the eye of the soul. And just as Michelangelo, who made the beautiful observation about the sculpture that he was about to carve, he stated, and I quote, "I am only freeing the angel who was trapped within the stone." Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. He trusted, he believed, he envisioned, he imagined that he would be guided to remove all the unnecessary stone fragments to reveal the angel's true form. Embracing and honoring our imagination on the spiritual journey has been and continues to be part of our divine awakening. And so I invite you now all just to close your eyes for a couple of moments and just take in a nice few gentle breaths. And let us know and affirm the divine presence working in, through, and as us, guiding us in our thoughts, words, and actions through our imagination. And quietly imagine now and affirm this statement to yourself: I am the ever-renewing, ever-unfolding expression of infinite life. I am the ever-renewing, ever-unfolding expression of infinite life. And we say, thank you, Mother, Father, God, infinite source, sweet Spirit, for your sacred presence in our lives, for revealing to us our divine imagination as a blessing in our life, that we may bring into manifestation that which is sacred and holy in our earthly experience. May we each continue to be blessed on our spiritual journey as we Allow our imagination to encourage new awarenesses, positive change, and spiritual transformation in our life. Allowing for us to continue to be divine outlets for God's ideas to flow in us and shine through us and as us. And for this, we are truly grateful. And so it is. Namaste.